Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Katicus. So today I want to have a talk about two off-topic things, because usually I'm on the topic of music, but I want to talk about two e-readers. One is the reMarkable 2 right here, and one is the BOOX 10C Ultra Pro. What a catchy name like that. Everybody must remember it just off the first time they hear it. So two e-readers, and the reason I want to do that is because I found out in the last, I don't know, few years that I really love reading. And it started off with a Kindle, and then I got a Xiaomi little 8-inch e-reader that I used until I lost it. And then I bought the reMarkable 2, and well, there's a bit of a story on that. And as soon as I get finished with this introduction here, I'll flip around the camera and talk about why I think one is far superior to the other, and my experiences with all of them. And I'll tell you maybe a little story or two that is kind of funny about how I thought I had lost my Xiaomi one, so I spend a whole bunch more money on e-readers. But yeah, I wanted to review the two of them and talk about why I personally think that the reMarkable 2 is not a good e-reader, or note taker as they call it. But we'll talk about that in a second. So let me just flip the camera around real quickly, and we'll get into it. I'll show you the hardware on the outside and talk about the software experience and what it's like using both of them. Okay, so see you guys in a second. Real quick, for those of you who are interested in my channel because of my music content, I will start making more again in the future. I'm not exactly sure when, but my wife and I bought a new apartment, which gave me the chance to have my own room for music again, and this time I can fully decorate it with lights and whatever I want, because it's our permanent home. We own it, yay! So I got a producer's desk, which has a slide-out drawer for a keyboard and stuff like that, and I got an actual rack for my keyboards and things like that. So once I get all this wired up, then I'll be able to start doing some videos on that. I've actually got a few pieces of gear since the last time I did a gear review. I got the Super 6 and the Microcosm and the GR1 and the Ox. There's a few more things that I probably, even the Iridium. Yep. So there's a few more things that I need to I don't know, do my totally amateur review on, but that will be later. So let's get into this talk about the reMarkable 2 and the BOOX Tab 10C Ultra Pro. God, just what a name. So the first tab, or the first reader I'm going to talk about is the reMarkable 2. And sorry for all the shadows and everything like that, but whatever. It is what it is. So this is the reMarkable 2. I don't know what all this stuff is. Get started, cool. I don't need to read the notes. So you see it's a nice layout and everything like that. It's got your books and stuff like that. It's very simple. Just read your books. I've started reading the Three Body Problem after watching season 1 on Netflix. But yeah, it's a nice layout. And the tablet, the hardware is really cool. It's got the USB-C down there, and then it's got the pogo pins down there for connecting to a keyboard. It's got the power button up here, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. It looks pretty gnarly on mine. I'll tell you why. And then it's got nothing else. There's just nothing else. There's a little antenna band in there. It's got a glass front and a glass back, and it's remarkably thin. Okay, reMarkable 2 is remarkably thin. And for writing on it, I can use my my Samsung Galaxy S Pen on it, which is very cool. Let me just, come on, open. Sometimes it doesn't like to pick up on taps and stuff. But yeah, whoops, here we go. So, it's supposed to, oh, that's the eraser here. So nice and easy, cool. And you got different pens to choose from. Go to pencil right here, nice and soft and hard. And one of the things that's supposed to be really good is that if you turn it at an angle, you can shade. That's pretty cool. At extreme angles, it shades really lightly. At a bit more of an angle, it does a little bit darker. And then straight on, it does the writing and stuff. So very cool. But I'm going to tell you why I don't really like this tablet. And there are many reasons why I don't like this tablet. Starting with, and this is, in my opinion, one of the worst ones, is the software. So you don't just plug this into your computer with USB-C and just drag and drop things onto your device. No, you have to download the software on your PC or your smartphone, and then you have to transfer the files using the software, and it has to sync up every time. So this thing needs a connection to the internet. There's no, USB-C is just for charging. It needs a connection to the internet. It has to connect through Wi-Fi and and then you have to be logged into your reMarkable account on the software and logged into it on here. And what a freaking pain in the butt. Like, it's just such a waste of time, and it really makes this thing not enjoyable to use. The second thing about the software is that in order to get the full functionality of the tablet, you have to buy a subscription. I think it comes with 1 year, and then after that, you got to pay monthly, like $8 a month or something like that. Oh my gosh, I wish companies would just piss off with their stupid subscription services. I just want something that I can put my books on and read them. I don't want something that I have to pay extra money in order to do stupid stuff with. So that was not really good. The third thing I really don't like about this tablet is it has no backlight. So you cannot use this thing at night, like unless you've got some kind of light around you. And it doesn't pick up light as good as I would like. Like if I'm in a room that's not perfectly lit, then the angles that you need to be so that it doesn't have that big huge globe of like globe of glowing light has to be like off center. But also it doesn't pick up light very well, which means it needs to be very bright in order to see things clearly. I don't know if it's just my eyes or what, but I'm not very happy with the reflectiveness of the screen or like the light catching ability of the screen. But without a backlight, this thing is just completely useless in the dark. The last thing is, I just recently found this out, is that the design isn't very good. And why I say that is because they put the power button exactly on the corner, right in the corner here. And you'll see mine is stuck in the pressed in position. That's because my cat knocked it off of this little table, okay? It's like a 1.5 foot drop, and it fell down on its corner and it jammed the power button in. So it's stuck in, which means that once this thing turns off, it'll never turn back on again. I've been keeping it charged in order so that I can keep reading books on it, and I've been keeping I set the settings so that it doesn't turn off on its own and doesn't go to sleep or anything like that, because I'd have no way to wake it. So yeah, that's why I bought another tablet, is because this one, I've tried sanding down the corner to loosen up the button, nothing works, it's stuck. So this big huge tablet that cost a lot of money, like $500, I think it cost me $500 just for the tablet, no pen, and it's now just when it goes to sleep, it goes to sleep forever. So yeah, there's that. So I bought a new tablet. So I'm not very happy with that. Also, there's no way to open the tablet. So, it's too thin. It's like remarkably thin, but it also means that it's not user friendly to fix on your own at all. Like, try opening this thing up. You probably need a heat gun in order to undo the adhesive glue and stuff like that. So, yep, that's cool. So there's the reMarkable tablet. Aside from that, the characters, like it's very high detail. Let's see here. It's very high detail, high PPI, pixels per inch. So it can get things very nice and clear. See? It's very legible. You just got to make sure you're in good light, and you got to make sure that you're holding the tablet at an angle that, doesn't pick up that big globe of glowing light from wherever it's shining. Which can be a problem because as it's a larger tablet, that means that you kind of have to hold it at the right angle, which might not be very comfortable because it's such a big tablet. And if you hold it by the bottom, you've got all that weight on the top making your wrists sore. If you hold it to the top, you kind of got to it's not the most comfortable viewing experience. Honestly, if you had this much money to spend on a tablet, unless you really, really, really want this one, and you don't mind spending an extra, $150 or $200 for the pen, I think it's $200, and $500 for the tablet, and paying the monthly subscription fee and dealing with their stupid software. If you don't mind all that, then by all means, cool. It's nice and thin and trendy. I mean, I'm sure there are people where money is no object. Even I'm not hurting for money, but at the same time, it still pisses me off that every single company wants every little bit of your monthly income in order to just exist. So yeah, that's something to consider if you're looking at the reMarkable 2. As a piece of hardware, despite all its faults, it does feel very cool to hold it in your hand, like to have something so thin that works as, a book, like all your books, every single book you have. That does bring me to another issue, though, is that this is another one of those style over substance products where they sold you on an idea, like Teenage Engineering, if you know Music Gear. Everything's super expensive, and you can find other brands that don't do it as pretty, but they do it much cheaper and often with more features. And it's kind of like the same with this one. I think there's only 8 gigs of storage and like 1 gigabyte of RAM, so there's not much processing power here. You've got no speakers, can't listen to audiobooks. It's just text and writing. That's all it is. And there's software and there's subscription. And make sure you don't drop it because, yeah, it's not made to last a single tiny bump. This thing is just designed to look pretty. Man, what a waste. Anyway, moving along. Here I have the 10C Ultra Pro 357D, whatever they want to call this thing. Got the backlight on because I was reading at night last night. Let's swipe this down. This is using Kaleidoscope 3, which is a color e-ink technology, which is not great in the dark, and you can see why. It's not great with the backlight 100% off. So usually this technology, Kaleidoscope 3, any company that's using it will have the backlight on slightly in order to lighten up the background of the text, because otherwise it just looks like gray. So they usually have it on just a little bit. So there you go, just a little bit in order to not have it gray. But I actually don't mind reading like this. It is quite dark, but I don't mind it. Funny thing is, my phone camera is brightening it, so it's actually a little bit darker than what you're seeing on camera right here. So thank you, Samsung. But let's go back to the main page here, and let's turn you can kind of see color in here. It's reminiscent of the color on an old like Game Boy Advance before they had a backlight in the screen. They had the just reflective color screen, and it was like gray with a bit of color, and it's kind of neat. It's I don't know why. I don't know how to explain why it's kind of a neat looking thing when you see it in person. As for this tablet itself, there are a couple features that stand out. I will say that at least it came with a pen, and it came with a pretty good pen. So, a decent tip on there. Let's see if I can get it nice and in focus. Come on, camera, focus. Come on, you can do it. Almost. It's trying to get on my computer. Let's put it on the black screen. Let's see if we can do it. This is so professional here, huh? There we go. So, nice tip. And then it has this here, like it actually kind of clicks in a little bit, and that is actually an eraser. So you write something and then just turn around and erase with it. So it's very cool. It's called I think it's their Pro Pen. There's no batteries inside it. It's Wacom, so it's just like magnetic. So if I want to create a notepad here, and I'll go to a blank one right here, I think, and I just want a blank one. Come on, just give me right here, create. Okay, so got a nice blank screen here. Let's try not to get my thing here. There we go. Draw pretty hard, draw pretty light. There's no shading, but I mean, I don't know. I've never missed out on shading. I suppose there are, features that would allow me to do that, but it's got a lot of features on the side here. It's got like temperature, layers, canvas, shape, lasso, fill, gesture, sync, and then zoom. So I can zoom in to different degrees. And again, I can turn the light up a little bit in order to get a bit more detail. You can adjust the temperature here. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. I wanted to go through the hardware of this device first. So let's turn that off there. And let's pull this off of the case. Paid a little bit extra for the case. It wasn't bad at all. And, I learned my lesson with the reMarkable. This time I got a case. The reMarkable case was like another $200. So, I mean, can you blame me for not buying it? Everything reMarkable is just remarkably expensive. But this case, why does it have this little cutout on an e-reader? That's pretty weird. Well, because this thing has a camera. Why the hell does it have a camera? I don't know if I can get my camera. There we go. It zoomed in on it. It focused on it. Smart scanner. So it's not a camera for like taking pictures of things, although I'm sure you could if you wanted to. But it's actually for scanning documents. I haven't used it myself, but I've heard it's so-so. It's got pogo pins down here because there is a keyboard dock to use this thing as a computer. It's got this weird bar along here with all the little icons. Their own little icons, and I'm guessing that's for like antenna bands and things that it can connect through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Because it is a metal body. Metal's not great for sending signals through, and this is a nice metal body. I would say this thing is probably twice as thick as the reMarkable. And it is quite heavy. So for an e-reader, that is quite a heavy tablet. But it's not heavy in the sense that I can't like man up and hold it. It is still holdable, just as or like I can sit there and read with it, no problem, just as I would with any e-reader. But it is something that you want to rest your hand down. You don't want to be holding it up like that, or like have it at a weird angle where your wrist can strain. But yeah, it's nicely made. It's kind of sharp edges, but it doesn't feel terrible in the hand because it's not super heavy. And I'm sure if I like held it by the corner, sitting on that one angle for a while, it might feel uncomfortable. But just holding it like that, it's pretty good. You got a power button up here. You've got a volume button somewhere. There's a speaker on the left and the right, and there is a volume button here. So it's a separated volume button. And then on this side, you've got just like registration number and nothing else. So no other buttons. Why is there a volume button and why are there speakers? Because this thing can do audiobooks. You can, I think there's a microphone for taking notes. I'm not sure. There is an SD card slot down here. That's great. So you can expand the storage, and it comes with 128 on board and 8 gigs of RAM. Why would it need so much? Because this is an Android tablet at heart, and apparently, let's see if I don't remember if I connected to the internet or not. I think I didn't, not yet. But you can watch videos on this thing. You can download Android apps and watch videos on this thing. I don't imagine it'd be a great experience, but apparently with like fast mode on, it's pretty good. You might want to be expecting like more from a review, but like showing you all this stuff. But honestly, I haven't connected to the internet because I got it as an e-reader and I downloaded or like I put books on it. One of the great things about this is you plug it in to the USB-C and you plug it into your computer and it connects immediately. You have a drive. It already has folders set forth for you. So if you put all your books into your books folder, it will read them. Another downfall of the reMarkable that I completely forgot is that it can only open EPUB as far as ebooks go. EPUB. You can do PDFs, you can do docs and things like that, but you cannot open Mobi, for example. And I don't know if there are other formats, but EPUB and Mobi are like the two biggest ebook formats, and this can only do one. You can do EPUB and nothing else. This can do both. It can do Mobi and EPUB. Yay! And you just drag them from your computer folder on your computer directly onto the books folder here, and it automatically finds them and puts them into your library for you here. And here are all my ebooks right there, just like that. Isn't that amazing? I freaking love it. So yeah, that's great. Easy to start up documents right there. Books drop, I don't know, some software for them. You got your doc scan right here. So if I were to like go over a document and scan, let's try it out real quick. Let's see what happens. Because I haven't connected to the internet, I don't know if there are firmware updates that I don't have. That could be a possibility. But let's see how this doc scan works. It'll probably show us what the video is like too. New scan. Okay, doc 1, okay, sure. All right. Okay, so, well, that shows you what the, like, in-motion camera is like on here, huh? That goes to show you. And that's what videos would be like on here, too. As you can see, it doesn't have the greatest darkness. Like, there's a shadow on the book down here. You see that? And on here, it's just black. So you need a well-lit document. I'm trying to scan this thing, and it's like, nope. Let's see here. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to hold the camera and this thing at the same time. Wow, that is not a high-resolution camera, but whatever. I mean, you're seeing my apartment through this weird camera, and there's a lot of ghosting going on, but that's fine because it's just something that you do a refresh on and it goes away. It's kind of interesting to see how that works. Seeing the color e-ink in motion like that. That is so weird. Wow. Anyway, let's see what happens when I click next. Next. And it gives me that document. Interesting. Apparently there are things that I can do with it in order to like extract the text and stuff like that. Uh, to PDF, text PDF, recognizing photo. Let's see if it does it. This might take a little while. Let me pause this. So it was taking so long, I just gave up on it. Forget it. Probably because it's just not clear enough to extract the details from it. I'm trying to scan from another e-ink screen in not a very well lit room with shadows and things like that from a little bit of a distance away, which I'm pretty sure this camera is supposed to be closer for taking pictures like that. Not sure how it will work, but yeah. You've got other applications on here, including some like open source stuff for files. There are some Chinese applications because I did buy this in China, which makes sense because I live here. But yeah, I like the home screen. Like you just turn it on. This is what you get. You got your quick launcher with this stuff up here, which I haven't used yet. Aside from notes and settings and library, well, yeah, and library, and then you get your library right underneath that, and it shows you your most recently read books. And when you open them, they open to exactly where you left them off, and it's very legible, very high PPI. I think it's like 223 PPI, whereas that's 222, something like that. Anyway, it's very high for an e-reader, and it's very legible. Everything's very easy to read, even when you've got your backlight all the way off like this. It's quite easy to read as long as you're in a well-lit area. Again, that one looks better when you're in a well-lit area than this one due to the Kaleidoscope 3 technology, the color technology, giving kind of a sheen on the screen. Do remember that my camera is automatically brightening the screen, so what you're seeing looks, hey, that's not bad. What I'm seeing is like, that's pretty dark. I can get used to it, as I can get used to like low quality MP3s if I'm just listening to music, but I'll notice it when I'm just switching from something that's better to something that's a bit worse. So generally speaking, you want to have that a little bit higher. This thing does have different refresh modes. Like it can be set so that it automatically refreshes every like 50 milliseconds or every minute or whatever, or every time you change the page, it refreshes. You can have different modes like fast mode and royal mode and things like that in order to like affect how the refresh and the image changing happens to lower the amount of ghosting but increase the amount of like delay between page switches, or to lower the amount of delay but also increase the amount of ghosting. It's your choice. Find like a middle ground. I actually really don't mind how it is just like this. Changing like switching pages is extremely quick. There's that like flash every once in a while, but that was not because it couldn't load it. It was just a refresh of the screen in order to make sure there's no ghosting. It looks really good though. And I haven't tried any audio files on here, but I imagine it'd be pretty neat to, well, I'm going to try that out right now.
If she was.
There we go.
Mom stretched and saw me at the doorway. Hey, honey. I climbed up on the bed and went over and laid next to her.
So it is playing in
How did you
stereo.
sleep?
I'm
She
just going to
asked.
pause this here. There we go. It is playing in stereo. It's not super loud. I don't know if that's just the file itself or if it's, in general, the speakers aren't that loud. But of course, you can connect your own earbuds or headset or whatever to it and listen to it on that. Another quick mention is, of course, the reMarkable doesn't have any speakers, so you can't listen to audiobooks on there. Another quick mention is the pen. Oops, I just dropped it on the floor. The pen is magnetic. It clicks right on there. It's pretty awesome how it just sticks to the tablet. Whether you have the case on or not, it holds to the edge of the tablet. So that's great. So if I just pull this up here and shut this like this, which automatically turns the tablet off, and when you open it, it turns it back on again, or it should. There we go. Yeah, close it. But when you strap that on there, you've got your pen locked right onto the edge of the tablet. It's very cool. It is quite heavy with the like everything all together. It's quite heavy. It's a couple pounds, but it's an e-ink screen with a multimedia device. You can surf the internet on this thing. You can download apps from the Play Store or from Amazon. You can even play games on here, although it doesn't look the greatest. I've seen videos of people playing like Temple Run, and it's like running, and it's very playable, but it's not how I would choose to do it. For me, first and foremost, this is an ebook. I love reading. It hits the brain so much differently than listening to something. I like audiobooks. I like to lay back with my eyes closed and just listen to audiobooks playing on YouTube or whatever. Absolutely love it, and just let my mind go wherever it's the story is going. But reading, it just hits the brain in a completely different way, and having a good ebook for that is great. So this BOOX tablet, I'm just showing you guys the cover the whole time. This BOOX tablet is actually really good for that. I'm happy with the purchase. Go back to the home screen there. So yeah, I would say if you have the choice between this one or that one, this one I believe is actually a bit more expensive than the reMarkable 2, believe it or not, because the reMarkable 2 is so expensive. However, the reMarkable 2's price goes up every single month that you pay for the subscription service, and it's just so much more lacking in features compared to this right here. There is a version of this that is, I'm not sure if it's thinner, but it's not color, and it's significantly cheaper, but it's also the high resolution screen, and I think it also has like speakers for audiobooks and things like that, and you can connect Bluetooth, and you can connect to Wi-Fi and do all sorts of different things like that. But I chose to go for the best version because I didn't want to miss out on any features. I'm not sure if the extra $150 is worth the little bit of color in here. That depends on the user. You can read comics and things like that on here and see nice color diagrams. In my library, I have a, let's see if I can find it. I have a PDF from a Patreon subscription that I have for a music producer or like video producer who reviews hardware, but he also has a huge PDF of different things he's learned about synthesizers and things like that. And he has this ever-growing PDF. His name's Lupop. Let's see if I can find him here. I don't want Chinese. I want English. There we go. Search for Lupop. There it is. And it's actually color when there are diagrams. You can see that right here. It's very subtle, but it is color. Let's turn the brightness up here. So you can see that it's just a nice little touch to have just a little bit of color. Just a little bit. You know, a little bit of red there, and a little bit of black and white there. A little bit of red there. Seems like red stands out the most here, or it just is the most used in this PDF. I don't know. A little bit of green there. Yeah, so it's, I don't know. All in all, I would say it's a really nice tablet. It is quite neat to use. Whoopsies. That was a back button. I wanted to tap this thing. The floating bar is expandable or collapsible by tapping the indicator. It can be disabled in the floating toolbar. Got it. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's a little bar of things like that. Sorry, I'm still learning this tablet. I've been using the reMarkable until my cat nuked the power button. And I just got this a couple days ago, or yesterday it arrived. So I like it. I'm excited to get more and more into it. But yeah, that's my relatively short video on the two things. If you're looking at getting an e-reader and you want something larger, like these are 10.3 inches screen, 3-inch screens. This one and this one over here. The funny story about my Xiaomi tablet is an 8-inch one. So Kindle pulled out of the Chinese market entirely. Like Amazon pulled out of the Chinese market entirely. And the Kindle market, the last month of operation was February 2024. So I downloaded all my books, and now my Kindle is as many books as I bought on it. Maybe, I don't know, 30 books. And it's just a little tiny one. And I liked reading on it so much that I decided to get the Xiaomi one, which was $150 translated into American dollars, roughly $150. Little 8-inch screen, backlight, just a reader. There's no pen functionality or anything like that. There's the Xiaomi store to buy books on, but you can just plug into the computer and upload books and stuff like that. Anyway, I'd lost it. And I had no idea what happened. It was just it was there one day and then it wasn't there the next day. I was super upset about it, but eventually I ended up getting the reMarkable. And then my wife and I moved apartments 2 weeks ago. We moved to the new apartment that we just bought. And it was underneath one of my synthesizers on one of the desks. It was just sitting there right underneath the synthesizer. I have no idea why. Weirdest thing in the world. But yeah, I got my Xiaomi tablet back. Cool. But yeah, I've already come to really enjoy having large screens like this. It's nice having a small e-reader for, plane rides or things like that. But when you want to just sit back and read a book and you want a nice big screen, a 10.3-inch screen is quite the perfect size to have large pages full of tons of words. And instead of a book that's being, 13 or 1400 pages, it ends up being like 500 pages, and it's enjoyable. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me just flip the camera around. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, of course, leave them down below, all that stuff. Please don't click like, and please don't subscribe. I say that because I'm so sick and tired of people putting a segment of every video saying that. And you know what? That's the only time I'm going to say this in this video, because it would be just as annoying if I'm like, don't do it. But yeah, aren't you getting tired of like, and my Patreon, blah, blah, blah. And if you click like, it really helps this channel grow. I don't give a shit. I hope you enjoyed the video. That's all I care about. I hope it was useful for you. I hope you had fun with it. And you know what? I'll see you guys in the next one. So yeah, this is Caticus out.